And now we're here today speaking mainly of softball, but you're the athletic director. You have other things going on too. Now the same situation here of trying to get games in and field conditions is going on across the way at the baseball field. What's going on there?
We worked on that all weekend, so never a dull moment, even on a Saturday and a Sunday. We were supposed to play at home Saturday against Southeastern Iowa. That game got canceled. We were supposed to play home yesterday against DuPage out of Chicago. That game got canceled because of wet grounds. Southeastern called yesterday, and they're on their way to Florida for a spring trip. So they want to stop off and play at Rent 1, the minor league diamond in Marion today. Okay, so
is that happening then? Or?
Yes, that is happening. We're on the bus and going as we speak. So I talked to the baseball team this morning. Coach Simmons is taking them down to Rent 1 at Marion. They're playing a 1:30 doubleheader today against Southeastern. We are scheduled to play Lincoln tomorrow at Lincoln. Lincoln called this morning and said their diamond is too wet, so they've already canceled for tomorrow. We're going to try to move them here if at all possible, but there's a lot to that, trying to get umpires to switch and a lot of things that have to occur. So, really there's no off days for an athletic director in the spring. Somebody told me once when I was coaching in high school, you got to be crazy to coach in the spring, and whereas basketball, most of the time, barring a snowstorm, we're going to play. But spring, a lot of times you don't know. Day of a game, you figure it out.
Right. And now, if I'm getting this right, we're going to attempt another doubleheader here tomorrow?
Yes. We talked to Logan this morning. The softball team is supposed to go to John Logan tomorrow. Their field is too wet. They can't play. So they're going to come here tomorrow and play softball, and then we'll kind of flip-flop, and we'll go there on the date that they should have come here. So one thing I've told people as an athletic director or as a coach in the spring, do all your schedules in pencil because you're going to erase a lot. I can remember being athletic director in high school at Casey Westfield when I was there, and I remember the first year I was the AD, we canceled the first 17 days of the spring season. We didn't have any weather in the first 17 days. So I've been through this a lot, and you just got to go with the flow and play when you can, but try to stay on page with it. And the most important thing is try to get as many games in as you can get in, still keeping in mind that the safety of the athletes is the most important thing. So it's a balancing act.
So you have a brand new head baseball coach, Coach Nelson here, coach last year here, assistant, but he's now the new head softball coach. So you got two new coaches. Give us a report card on those two.
Oh, they're great. They're great guys, but once again, it's their first year, and there's always things that, as Coach Nelson will tell you, and Coach Simmons, of course, this being his first experience at this at all, so it's quite interesting as I'm working with Coach Simmons because he's tremendous between the chalk lines. But I think for like most young coaches, they don't realize all the little other things that have to occur.
And I think he would admit that too.
Oh yes, yes. And such things like do we have transportation? Are we ready to go with transportation that day? Do we have all the proper paperwork filled out? Do we have the umpires taken care of? Did you cancel the umpires in time? Did you call the radio? Did you call TV stations? Does our trainer know? Everything. I was getting phone calls at home yesterday. Is this canceled or is this on? And there's a whole list. We type it up for everybody to do, but, Coach Nelson will tell you that moving over one chair, I used to say this in basketball when I was the assistant basketball coach, that's a great job. Yeah, that's a great job, and no pressure. The kids all like, it's great. You move over one chair to the head coach, it's a different world. It's a different world, So they will both do a great job. I don't have any doubts that they will. It's not easy. People have no idea of the time, the amount of time. I think away from the field. That's what people don't understand, how much time you actually put in away from the field. You might have the 2.5 or 3 hour practice, but you have a lot of additional hours to put in besides that. So, they're doing fine. They're doing fine, and they both, they're both high energy. They're both very passionate about their job, and that's what I was looking for in both of them. They have Lakeland College best interest at heart, and that's what we want.
Okay. We've been visiting this time with the athletic director of Lakeland College, Denny Thronberg. This is the second week in a row we've tried to get Coach Nelson on. No fault of his. He's been down on that field probably ever since. last Monday and doing a great job. And we may get this game in here today. We're really got our fingers crossed for this home opener. No more scheduling problems to deal with, hopefully.
Well,
Okay, so for Lakers Live, thanks to Nikki Ramsey, Aubrey Frank, and Denny Thronberg once again. We played things a little out of order today, but that's okay. We had Lakers Nation on a little earlier. That was hosted by David Galan, and the guest on that was Patrick Coleman. He's a pitcher for the Lakers baseball team. So stay tuned. More great music on Max Alternative here, and I wanted to remind you that for all intents and purposes, this softball game is still on. Be later today at 2 o'clock start. It's a doubleheader. WLKL will carry at least the first game, and we're getting big ideas about carrying the whole doubleheader. We're all kind of anxious for this. So for David Galan, John Myers back in the studio, this is Chet Novak for Lakers Live on WLKL 89.9, the Max Alternative.
This has been Lakers Live.